Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be another one of our Bronco build videos. I've ran into a snag already. I got out the fuel cell because I was working on the frame and I realized that the bottom of it has this gigantic hole in it, which would be fine if you were mounting it that way with these super detailed caps on it. But I actually wouldn't even need those. I need it to go this way, so I'm not going to be able to use that, which is fine. To be honest, I kind of want to build one that looks like a fabricated sheet metal one anyway, so not a big deal there. I have another, I probably have 6 other models I'd like to throw that thing into, so I'm keeping that, of course. But a little bit of an update on the frame. Decided to change it just a tiny bit. Last time you saw it, these were sticking way out. I've cut them flush. You can see. And then on this one I've cut it flat because I plan to run a frame rail that mounts to the back here and then ties in on that front frame horn there. So it's going to go like so. And the idea there is that that makes like a continuous frame. And then I can mount. This is basically what I'm doing is I'm using the outer perimeter as more of a body mount slash roll cage connector. So like on the front here, I'm going to put a square piece of plastic, and then we'll have where the roll cage would mount, and it would just mount right to where that hole is, or to where that is. So they'd basically 2 plates and they'd sandwich together on the body. And we're going to do it there, and we're going to do one here. I'll make a mount there, and I'll make one in this back corner. And then we'll probably have one in the back here. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but I do know I do want that to be back there. So that's what I'm going to do with that. So just to test out my theory, I already cut the one piece out and made the frame rail. So I'm going to glue that in, and then we'll make the other one. I'll show you how I did that. Ah, come on. Okay. Okay. So, to be honest, there really wasn't much of a trick here. I just took my super flat sprue cutters and just lined them up and knocked it off just like that. hold that up. Sand it smooth. Make sure I got the good end here. Okay. And then I had a little scrap that was almost the perfect size, so I built the cross member in the back there. That's kind of what got me going on the whole trying to do the fuel cell thing. Okay. And then, like always, we gotta go to the chopper here. Okay. Put that up there. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Love it. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. So the next thing I would like to do on it is put I gotta do a sway bar, and I'm going to do a NASCAR style one. So I plan to have it with the tube that runs through the frame and then the two arms that come out, because this is going to be all 4-link, so it's going to be it's going to come from the top here down to the axle top, and then it's going to come off the axle itself and then come in and drop down. So it's going to be a triangulated 4-link. I know how I'm going to do that. That's just all bracketry stuff that we gotta make happen for that, and that'll be later. For right now, excuse me, I guess I would have to be figuring out where think I need to really figure out where I want that front cross member to be. So in the kit, they have it way up front right there, which actually isn't too bad of a place for it. Again, excuse me, I hate doing that on camera. Yeah, I guess if I put it like right there. That'd sit right between the frame rails perfectly. Okay, so shocker, a Ford big block fits in a Ford that has enough room to fit a big block in it. Okay, so let me look this over real quick here. These stupid instruction sheets are coming apart. You know, I don't even need that. Okay. Okay. I'm actually so close to just putting that frame together and just putting the motor and stuff in it. Make it look like a project somebody's working on. Okay. So that clips in here and those clip onto the frame. Okay. Because I don't want to put a cross member in if it's going to interfere with the radiator. And I definitely don't want to put one in if it's going to interfere with the way the engine works. Now what I can do is, because of how the grill goes on, okay, so none of that's anything I need to worry about quite right now. Okay, what I'm worried about is right here. So as I was saying, the way the grill goes in, you're not left with a whole lot of room to do anything to the front of that. Okay. Yeah, but if you do it, oh yeah, we can still put it like right there and still have plenty of room for the radiator. I know how I'm going to do the radiator, so that's going to be a custom fab piece, which actually, yeah, I don't want to do that right now. That is really bothering me. Okay, sorry, I was just looking at this. Theoretically, I should be able to glue that together. Because we're going to build the plate that's going to cover that, which is going to cover this. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. And then that's just going to sit right there. So if I did that interior color, so if I glued this together and then painted the whole thing body color with everything on it like it's supposed to be. I'm trying to figure out how to fix this to make that all happen properly. So I glued all that in, then later on I could come in and I could just glue in that panel. Okay. So on the real vehicle, of course, you'd have the door jamb and all the stuff there, and we're going to cut all that out, and we're going to run the roll cage is going to run right in front of that, so. Then your roll cage is just going to come up like so. It's just going to come up against that panel. And it'll run up to there, and then it'll kick back and follow the line of the windshield up to the top of the windshield, and then it's actually on that one it's going to stop. So it'll just come up and kick back. Actually, maybe I should do that one whole piece and then do the other tubes to mount up against it. I could do that. Oh, that's a... That... I know you're probably sick of hearing me say it, but that's for another time. So anyway, yeah, let me work on this just a little bit here. So I don't see anything. Well, actually I do. Actually I do. I want to take all this raised detail. I want to take it off of there. I want the whole floor from that line forward to look like this. I have a reason for that. And I have a tool that'll do that really quick, but it is loud, and I know you guys don't want to listen to that, so I'll do all that off screen. So, okay, so as far as I'm concerned, we're done with all of this except this. I need to double check on that. I needed to see how, and then the shroud, which I don't need to use the shroud. And then the motor and stuff. Okay. Okay. So it looks like all I'm really worried about here is the dash and those door panels, how they're going to interact with one another. Okay. So the dash panel goes in like so. Oh, yeah, that's... Ooh, yeah, there's a problem there. Oof. Well, that's good in a couple of ways and terrible in a whole bunch of ways. I don't know, some of you guys have probably built this in your home going, that's not how it goes together. No, it is. Okay. It is. Okay. Not a big deal. We can make that work. It's just going to take a little bit of work to do. So, okay. So that just clips in, and then that holds the radiator, and I know what I'm going to do with the radiator. Okay. Just going to kind of pretend that's that there. Okay. Ah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that gives me plenty of room. Okay. Okay. So that's that. Need to figure out. Okay, so in an effort to get this moving forward sometime today, I'm going to start gluing some of this stuff together. I've looked this all over. I really don't see a reason to not glue this on. Matter of fact, I'm kind of wondering now if I was a little remiss in not doing it already. I know I said I wanted to take all that stuff off with a different machine, but I can do that with it glued together. I gotta get this moving ahead, so. Plus, if you've ever watched my channel, you know I change my mind every 5 friggin' minutes. So I might decide to do something else. I don't know. I know I do that though, and I'm sorry. I really bounce around sometimes with my ideas. And unfortunately, that's kind of half of what we're doing here. It's like I don't really have a plan. I mean, I know what I want it to be when I'm done with it, so you're kind of just looking at what you got and thinking, okay, how far out am I? Okay, and now we just got to do this. Oop, oop, oop. There we go. Okay. Okay, so I just wanted to do that real quick. Okay, so on the frame, because I can do this without it being necessarily on there. So I'm going to run this 1/8 inch tube through the chassis to make those arms. Or sorry, to be for the sway bar. I don't know if you guys have ever seen them or not, but they're just a torsion bar, and then on each end they've got the spline ends that stick out, and they got these arms that come off of them. and then the end links to come down to where you want them to be. They use them on a lot of different things. They're really cool. I'm kind of stoked about finally getting the chance to try to mimic that look. So my plan is just to put one okay, so basically anywhere from between, well, I need to tuck it up as close as I can to where the radiator goes. So basically it's going to go just behind where the body mounts went. Those pens are awesome. They just don't work kind of on their edges like that. Okay. And then that's going to go in there. And then the center line of the axle is right here. So if you run the arm out to about there, and then ran the end link down, and then all your shocks are going to mount up here. The coilovers are going to mount right here. So yeah, that's going to be perfect. And we'll do one in the back about right there, I think. But first we got to cut the end of this off to make sure it's nice and round, and then we can get going here. There you go, look at that. Here. Okay. So that's like 28, 29. Okay. Now I did that because when I go to mark this off, it's going to mark it in just a little bit. And I found adding about 1 millimeter to that soaks up the little edge from here and makes everything square up real nice. So that's how I've been doing them. And it's been working, so I'm going to keep doing it. Okay. Okay. Okay, I like that. Now I just have to figure out Okay. Oh, baby. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Man, I hit that thing right on the first shot. Holy cow. That usually doesn't happen. Okay. Well, everything I glue on there, you can just feel that frame just start to stiffen up and start to set. So that's a really good feeling. I'm like super crazy happy about that. Okay. Ah, crap. Nope, they didn't. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. And this is why I left those frame rails so long. Huh. That one didn't quite. Come out. Okay. There we go. There's that bracket and there's that one right there. Yep. Okay, cool. that that extra piece is driving me nuts, to be honest. I really want to cut that off, mount the bumper, but I'm not going to because we're not there yet. I mean, we just barely got the front piece on here for the suspension. Okay, let me glue this back together again. And it's been over a half hour we've been working on this. I'm trying to keep these down to about a half-hour episodes. It's easier for me to process through my super old, super slow computer, and I don't think you guys want to sit here and watch a cinema length video of me doing this crap. So I'm gonna leave it here, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching this.